Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody. How are you doing? All right. We got Homewood. Greetings from Chicago, the Windy City. Very good. Very nice. What should I replace my Unify UB52s with? Looking for a step up. Sober Elvis. I don't know, man. What are you looking for? What type of sound are you looking for? Hold on. We'll come back to you. Sorry, Wednesday. It's Thursday. Yeah, Brian to the rescue. Pointing out all the wrong things I'm doing. Sorry, Brian. It is Thursday. You're right. We were supposed to do this yesterday, but I got jammed up. All right. We got Moo Sea Hair, Sweden. All right. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Brian Ruby. Fine city. I think I was supposed to go and not play football, but I had some interest in a college that was in Sioux Falls, I think. Hey, Randy, what's up? Oh, look at you. Most muscular shot right there in the gym. Just tearing it up, Ryan Ship. Luis M. from South Africa. You got your LinkedIn profile picture up here. Very nice. Simon Hackshaw, better late than never. Good to see you. Good to see you, Simon. Very nice. All right, Sober Elvis wants detail with great soundstage and imaging. Well, here's the thing. Detail oftentimes comes from speakers that have an AMT tweeter, such as like any of the Emotiva stuff. B2 plus, T1 plus, T2 plus, all that good stuff. But sometimes with that clarity comes a breakdown in soundstage because cymbals and stuff like that can come really forward. With that said, the Emotiva stuff that I've heard always has very good lateral soundstage. But sometimes with some cymbals, things can kind of come forward and back. So that's the problem. Like the UB52s are already fairly detailed. But like if you want more detail above that, I don't know. We may need to come back to this. We may need to talk about your budget too, because I really want to dig into this a little bit more. Mad BRC, hey, from Cornwall, UK, awesome. Hold on, we got Australia in here. PS, what's up from Australia? We got Brazil. Holy cow! Back to the US, Prescott Valley, Arizona. Homewood, Wharfdale Lintons, just a statement. I like them. They're very good. Very, very good. Very, very good. All right. Hold on. I got the Emotiva B1 Plus as an upgrade for my desktop setup with your recommendation and absolutely love them. Thanks so much. Have you listened to HTD level 3s by chance? I think I have. I have listened to some HTD. I think it was the ones with the ribbon tweeter. And there was a bit of like a transition, like tonal difference. So when things would go from the lower mids into kind of the upper mids, there was almost like a timbre switch. It didn't really bother me that much, but it was something interesting about that. Oh, we got Brian Boulden. Should I trade in my Submariner? Oh, damn, wrong channel. Not really. Kind of. Speaking of those, however, this is not a Rolex Submariner. This is a much more affordable Steinhardt, and this is a very beautiful watch. Very well built, and it was $400 versus you can never actually buy a Rolex Submariner unless you pay like twice the retail price. Shipwreck, I bought the Buttery DAC streamer thing. Can I hook up a hard drive up to that thing? Shipwreck, I bought that Buttery DAC streamer thing. We're gonna have to dig into that, Adrian Dunkerley. I don't exactly know which one you're talking about. If it's a true streamer, oftentimes you can hook up a a hard drive to it sometimes. All right. We got a whole bunch of comments in here. All right. Some more shout outs. Hi, Fee and Photo Brian, a stalewart here. For sure. Zen Signature. Okay. Zen Signature. That's a DAC. So no, that doesn't have any streaming capabilities. So I do not think you can hook up a hard drive to that. If memory serves me correctly, that's just a DAC, which also has a Bluetooth, LDAC Bluetooth. Texas John Squally makes a great watch. Actually, I have one coming in like careful quickly. Man, my goodness. All right, congratulations on getting a Zodiac. Go watch, man. Yes. So one of the premises of me getting this Zodiac watch is I had to mention it on this channel as well. So real quick, we got a bunch of like actual sponsored content that we're going to have to trudge through. I hope you guys we're going to make it fun now. Okay. So I actually have multiple people sponsoring this live stream. Okay. Cause this doesn't happen by accident or just happen in a vacuum. I got lights. I got a camera. I have my grooming. Like this doesn't happen by accident. There's a lot of work that goes into this. I'm actually 73 years old. So me looking like this takes a lot of work, full-time staff. Anyway, the dog. I tell you what, I gave my stepdaughter one thing to say. I was like, keep the dog quiet, and she couldn't do it. Okay, this is the Zodiac Seawolf. Okay, this is the Zodiac Skin Seawolf, 1953. Anyway, there's so many comments coming in. Let me get through this, and then I'll get back to the comments. Anyway, this watch has some heritage because in 1953, the Rolex Submariner, where this but it looks like it came out, as well as the 50 Fathoms. And it was the first commercial dive watches that were sold to the public. Anyway, Zodiac was one of those brands. It's the only brand that you can get right now for under like $10,000. So that's $1,200. That's a lot for a watch. I get it. But please go check out the video I did on the Zodiac Super Seawolf on my other channel, my watch channel. I'll link it in the description. So there we go. All right. That's sponsorship number 1 out of the way. Let's go back to some of these. Randy, do a show about the best Hulk replacement. All right. Okay. Here we go. Hey, Randy, does amp wattage and speaker sensitivity only affect the volume, or does it affect the sound quantity as well? I have a 6.5 watt tube amp, and the speaker selection is quite limited. Thanks. So here's the thing about speaker sensitivity. It changes dependent upon kind of what frequencies are going through it, as well as the so in theory, a speaker sensitivity will remain somewhat constant, but depending upon the driver, there will be dips and troughs and things like that. There is an overall sensitivity level that kind of is where the line is at. With all that said, the higher sensitivity speaker is, the easier it is to drive, which is what you're saying. Now, 6.5 watts on a tube amp, though, some people say that it's almost like a multiples of whatever the wattage is. So 6.5 watt tube amp could be like considered maybe to even like a 30 to 50 watt, what some people call a solid state amplifier. And solid tube amplifiers are still solid state, but I don't want to debate that. I think you would be surprised at what sensitivity speakers you could actually drive with that 6.5 watts, because John Shepler, one of my friends who's in here, he drives fairly low sensitivity speakers, I think around 86, 87 with, I think 1 watts, and he gets them very loud, and he says it sounds great, which I believe him. So when you ask about sound quantity, to me, that sounds like SPL numbers, and that kind of comes into play with the sensitivity. That's what the speaker should be playing at 1 watt at 1 meter. So it gets complicated. The other complex thing about this question is that we don't oftentimes use as many watts as we think we do. I have a very powerful Macintosh vintage amp upstairs, and it's got VU meters on it. Now, those VU meters aren't always that accurate, but what I will say is I have never popped that thing above 3 watts as far as the VU meters showing on that amp ever, and it's loud. Conversely, the wattage goes into, like, you have to consider the sensitivity of the speaker and the what is it? Not the resistance, the impedance of the speaker across different frequency levels. Very complicated question. I think the quick and easy answer is that I don't think you're going to have a problem with most speakers, even if they're 86 dB. John did chime in here. John says correct. 86 dB speakers with a 3.5 watt max output amplifier, and he rocks and rolls with those all the time. All right, we have missed a whole bunch up here. There's Ed. Hey guys, Ed's the best. All right, we got Ragnar Asif from Norway. You were in here last week, man. I like you. I feel like I want to be friends with you, Ragnar, simply because your name is Ragnar. Am I not coming through here? No sound. Randy, not 76, 1976. Can you guys hear me? Drop it in the comments if you can hear me. Thoughts on the Pantera reunion? I think it's going to be great. Okay, Brian says all good. All right. What are you doing to me, man? You got me all scared. All right. Loud and clear. All right. It's all right. You got me scared, man. You said you couldn't hear me. I mean, I was just going on and on and on. Mark Chua says, I meant quality. Crying. Yeah, that's probably a long way. No, I think quality is going to be just fine. All right. Let's go all the way up here. John Ship, Randy, I hear people talk about a power amplifier creating more depth and width. How can a power amp do this? From what I've heard, the recording itself, DAC, pre-affect these aspects much more. Agree? No, actually, I don't. One thing I will say about that Mac amp is it plays huge. I mean, it gives a ginormous soundstage. And I don't particularly know all the details around why it gives a bigger soundstage than other amplifiers, but amplifiers, yes, can and will dramatically affect soundstage, depth of soundstage, and things like that. I can't explain to you why, but in my experience listening to dozens of amps, all of them have a bit of a different sized soundstage and instrument separation. Now, I think instrument separation can come from noise and signal to noise ratio, as well as dynamic range capabilities. So that could play a role in it. But yeah, excuse me. All right. Sorry, I'm drinking a little soda, a little burpee. I'm searching for a decent single disc CD player with a digital out. Used. I would like it to be Onkyo. All right, so I can stick with one remote. Any suggestions? Man, Craigslist or eBay? I guess Facebook Marketplace, because that's a kind of limiting the possibilities. Because I don't know. I don't think Onkyo has any recent CD players in production. I could be wrong, but I don't know of what they have available. Your other option is just to go get a universal remote and program it to everything. Probably be easier than finding like an Onkyo, but Cambridge Audio makes a CD player with an optical out. Cambridge Audio also makes a transport. Audiolab makes a transport. Emotiva makes a a player with a transport as well. Or I mean, it's got digital outs, and then also you can use its DAC for some optical and a coaxial, which is kind of cool, right? So it's like a DAC that can accept inputs in a CD player. Just got the Emotiva B2 Plus. They are awesome. Very cool. Show us the Tectons. I would actually pick that up and take it out there if I wouldn't rip everything off of the desk right now. So, yeah. We got any super chats that I missed in here? Let me go all the way up to the top. Oh, there is a ginormous amount of comments. You guys are so awesome. No super chats. All right. Let's go back down here. David Valentine. Hey, I'm planning on getting 2 pair of the Sony SSCS5 to replace my Klipsch R41M front and rear. That's awesome. I don't know if they're still on sale anymore. They were somewhat on sale, I think, for about $130. So yeah. Will we be getting a review of the AIMA A08 Pro? Maybe. We're not talking as much as we used to. Like we used to exchange emails quite a bit, so I don't know if they've had some turnover or what. I actually have a pair of AIMA speakers. The problem is I haven't seen them like readily available, and they look pretty cool. They're small, but they look like they could be legit. So I might bust those out today after I have got to fix those Tectons. Though I got to put the new drivers in the Tectons. It's been crazy. I don't have enough hours in the day to get everything done. And school, I thought it was going to be easier because school started and the kids would be back in school. But it seems like it's gotten worse because now soccer has started. So now I actually have soccer practice tonight. Not me personally, but one of my daughters. Ragnar, I like you too, man. You're the honest type, which is why I definitely respect you. Very cool. Where are you from again, Ragnar? Are you from Norway or something? Anyway, Scandinavian, one of the Scandinavian countries. Hello, I have a T9 and the power wasn't enough, so I started to use it as a pre and purchase A08. It's a power amp. It improved soundstage resolution and instrument separation, but it didn't help on the decibels. Okay. Well, if you want to keep throwing money at AIMA, I get it. What you could do is get an A07 with a 48 volt power supply, and that'll put out some juice for sure. Or you can look at something else. I think the A20A from Sabaj. I don't have one within arm's length. I can't remember the actual power ratings on that, but it's fairly significant. You could also look at the Emotiva A2 Mini, which that puts out some pretty decent power. It's $230. It depends on your budget, man. My man. All right. Christian Rubio. Hey, glad to join. There we go. Ed G saying, don't forget to hit the like button. It's right. Hit the like button, folks. If you're so inclined, that would help me, I guess. Maybe help people find this. I don't know how many. Oh, we got turned 12 people on here. Very cool. Dan Ballard. Just want to say you rock. You rock, man. You look like you're having a good time. You look like maybe you're in Cabo or maybe the Mayan Riviera at like one of those drinking huts that's open air. You're having a good time. You got your shades on, got the necklace on. You're just chilling, having a great old time, drinking some margaritas right out there on the beach. I'm making up a complete backstory about you, Dan. I don't know. You could be in a trailer park in Duluth. I don't know. But it looks like you're having a good time. That picture. Smack the like button. I know, with the ice power. Yeah. Love from North Cyprus. Man, we have a lot of people from all over the world. Have you ever thought about building a Nelson Pass amp camp amp? Do you know anybody who has in their experience? I usually don't do this, but I'm seeing. Ooh, it's thundering over here. I've got it somewhere. Okay, short answer is yes. I have built one. Um, it sounds pretty good, man. I mean, it's got a really rich tone. Kind of like what I would assume a tube amp would sound like. It was pretty straightforward. If you do build it, though, they will come. I'm kidding. Those, remember that? If you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams. Anyway, if you do build it, make sure you're on the right rev of the manual as far as the instruction manual, because there's about 7 different versions and it's not like they're easily accessible. You kind of have to dig through and find out, okay, because it's all on a forum. Now they do have, it's a great instruction. They have pictures, they have all sorts of stuff, but there was multiple versions of the instructions that for whatever reason they keep them up. And so I had to dig through a few different forum threads to actually find it, if that makes sense. All right. Is there a problem using, this is from Rufus15. Is there a problem using Yamaha's HS8 and HS5S plus a 7.1 sound card as a starter home theater sans the use of amps? The plan is to change to a sound processor like the Basics MC1 13.2 later. No amp game for me. Okay. I am not familiar with the HS8 and the HS5S. So I cannot answer your question, my friend. I am so sorry. So sorry. And I would look it up, but there's a lot of stuff coming in. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. Maybe if there wasn't so many comments, we'll come back. Hit me up next week and like early, and we'll tackle that question. I'm sorry. Hey, first super chat. Rob W. Really want to thank you. Just built my first system thanks to your channel and being part of the Discord group. Hey, cool. You built an amazing community. Love my setup, but I'm already getting upgrade-itis. Just wait. If you have the upgrade-itis, just pause on it and wait a week. Like if you see something that you like, wait a week and then kind of come back to it. Because part of the fun of this hobby is all the new stuff and researching it. Like researching this new products and new speakers, amp stacks, whatever it is like addictive. And I am really guilty of that. And like what can happen is we like the buying experience can be almost as much fun as listening to it. So we like to buy stuff. So just pause it for a while. Enjoy your system. Maybe go out and buy, I don't know if you have vinyl, buy a couple of records, buy a CD or two, and then just kind of chill. Russell Perry, how do you get in the Discord group? So the Discord group is for my patrons. So I have a patron-only Discord group and a patron Facebook group. And even at the lowest tier, $3 tier, you can get into the Discord and the Facebook. So, and then we also do patron-only Zooms for the $5 tier and above. So that's how you get in. And it's a great community. We have 400 over 450 people, 450 patrons, and collectively, well, probably 2 or 3 of them know way more than me, but collectively there's an awful lot of experience in there. So it's a great place to hang out. It's a safe place too. Like there is no BS allowed. So no dismissive comments, no meanies, no jerks in there. And unfortunately, we have had to remove a few people out of the Facebook group. But other than that, it's been smooth sailing. And everybody's been really respectful of one another. All right. Christian Rubio, $5. Debating this. Upgrade my Project Debut Carbon with Ortofon Red to Blue, running into Emotiva TA100 than Yamaha C93s for mostly pre-digital music. I'd hope so. I think the blue is a significant step up from the red. a significant step up from the red. It's more balanced. It has more clarity. It's, I think, a better cartridge in every way. And I think it is, I think the red is like around 70 and the blue comes in around 200. I really, 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 really think it's far and away better and probably absolutely worth the multiples of price it is above the Ortofon 2M red. So 100% stand behind the 2M blue. It is one of my favorite cartridges, if not my favorite cartridge. I have a gold ring on there right now, which is fantastic. So wonderful cartridge and very well respected. I do a little bit more research on it, but I think you're probably going to hear the same stuff that you're hearing from me. We had a question in here. Oh, here we go. What's Randy's discount code for Emotiva? I use my military discount. I don't have a like standing discount with Emotiva. So just use the military discount, my man. Hey, look at this. Look at this, everybody. We are amongst Hi-Fi YouTube royalty. One of the OGs, my good friend Ron from New Record Day, $20. Will you come over and help me chop down a tree? I would love to, Ron. If we get to use a log splitter afterwards and then hollow out a log and then maybe cook some beans over it and then go find a wild boar, kill it, and then you smoke it for like 17 hours or something. Yeah. Ron crawled out of a cave, my friends. Here he is. I love Ron. Ron's the best. Look at this, Ron. Look at this. We got John Shepler saying, Ron, welcome. You know John. Brian Boulden saying, what's up, Ron? Sup, Ron? Kevin Gardner says, Ron lives. And then that's not about you. But the Ed, back to Ron. Look at you, man. Everybody loves you. Older jazz, 60s, early 70s rock. Yeah, man. I think the 2M Blue is a great cartridge. Great cartridge. I'm having fun today. We're having fun. We're already 27 minutes into this. Where has he been? Ron, pop it in the comments. Where you been? I think he's been on sabbatical. He's gone and he's starting a startup electric car company made out of bamboo. So I don't know how good it's going to be, but he's been soliciting investors. I wouldn't have it any other way. Sorry, I've been pretty sick. I had a root canal that didn't go so well. I send Ron text messages a lot and memes and stuff like that. And so Ron and I have a nice little texting relationship with funny stuff that we both find funny. Anyway, Bubblehead, he's having fun. Bubblehead, I can't remember if you said you're a submariner or not. Submariner. But check this out. This is a postcard from the christening of the USS Nevada, which is the boat that I served on. I found this on eBay. It's got a what do you call it? Postmark from 1985, September 14th. How cool is this? And it wasn't expensive at all. The coolest thing ever. Very cool. Cachet design is sponsored by William J. Everett, USCS. Very cool. I like that. Whew. Ben Gleason is texting me while I'm on a live stream. I don't see you in here, Ben. All right. Dave _68. I have a question about the OLB-VU3. I can't find the answer on the website. I have ELAC Unify and Aperion Super Tuner. Can I play both AB speakers simultaneously? Thanks and cheers. Is it that switcher thing? Because no, you can't play them both at the same time. But the way that you hook up the Super Tweeter is you just go off of the taps on the back. So you just run Super Tweeter to the same tap. So you can run at the same time, but it would just be considered one speaker. Concrete is poured today. Look at Ron. Ron's creating a bunker. Why are submarines called boats and not ships? Just the way it is, man. It's a boat. Pig boat. That's what they used to call them. Pig boats. They still call them boats. Josh Valley did it for $20. I probably should have gone to a dentist. Oh, Josh did your root canal? Yeah. He knows his way around some power tools though. So I would have figured that maybe would have been a safe bet, but yeah. Next time. Ben, you got a smiley face. All right. Boat, because it's the way it is. That's right. Just a boat. I don't know why. So like why do they call the floor of the deck? Or Candy Gee Dunk, or Rumors Scuttlebutt. Navy has a whole bunch of weirdness. All right, hold on. I love splitting wood, and it's not even a euphemism. Wouldn't necessarily listen to a cheap timber management production. Okay. All right. We've got to do some sponsor content. All right. I'm sorry. I agreed to this, though. Not thinking too much about it. Okay. However, this stuff is pretty cool. This is a company called... There's no way that's showing up. All right. There we go. Maybe this one will show up. All right. Come on now. Yay. There we go. This is a company called Exter. Okay. You've probably seen this stuff before. These are little wallets, right? And I would have actually thought, like, I've seen these before. Not maybe necessarily this brand, but I've seen these before, and I've always thought, that seems odd, because this is the monstrosity that I carry around. Look at the size of this thing. Now, I love this thing because it's really good leather. It's from Saddleback Leather. But when I used to work a real job, I would put receipts in here, and this thing would be about this thick. I don't know if you've seen Seinfeld, George Costanza's wallet, but I'm one of those. So anyway, look at these things. It's a little wallet, and it's got a little button right here. And you do that, and then all your cards come out. Like that. Not only that, they got one like this. It's kind of a traditional wallet, and then you can put like your cards in here, and then it does the same thing. Okay, so if that isn't cool enough, then they have these things, which is a way that you can track your wallet. So think of this as like Find My iPhone, except it's Find My Wallet. Now, if you're not a if you're not a practicing alcoholic and you don't leave your wallets a lot of places, maybe you don't need this. But if you've ever misplaced your wallet in the house, you can stick one of these in there, and then you download an app and everything. And listen, there's nothing funny about alcoholism, all right? I don't drink myself because I used to drink a little bit too much. But you can stick one of these in there, okay? Links in the description. They're running a sale, like 25% off. So that's the sponsor content. It's one sponsor. We got one more to go. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Don't find my wallet. Oh, wait a minute. I saw something really funny. Does Sith Audio have any DIY root canal kits? No, but I'm going to talk to them about that. I think that's a really good idea. And an untapped market for Sith Audio. Audiophile DIY root canal kit. Do you know what's really interesting? Springboarding off of this stuff is you can go to Harbor. I think I mentioned this last night. You can go to Harbor Freight Tools and buy a dental kit, like dental like implements to do dental work at Harbor Freight. Why is there a dental kit available at Harbor Freight? Like, who's buying that and who's using it? I always found that completely incredible. If I had a wallet, it would turn into a attack with my cards. Yeah. So let's not forget the name here. Exter. Exter. For all your slim, cool wallet needs. You know what the irony is? I've got some stuff in for sponsorship stuff, and some of it's been cool. Now I do use, actually, I carry around a pocket knife from Bespoke, and I do love this. So I do love this. Sometimes though, I get sponsored stuff in that I don't really love. I'm going to use this. The only problem is I'm actually scared of using this because it is so small, and then I might lose it. But anyway, home dental kit. All right. I'm not as think as you drunk I am. Very good. Very good. George's wallet. Yeah. Remember that? Remember, like, he stuck one more receipt in there and it just exploded. And he would have to. So mine would get so, when I would drive a lot for work, this would get so big that I would have to take it out and then put it somewhere because I was listing to the left. All right. Bubblehead's got a saddleback wallet. I got a saddleback, whatchamacallit, briefcase back there. Had it for like 10 years. Looks brand new. All right. Ben Gleason, how do I get an extra wallet? Go down to the description. It should be in the description, a link in the description. And there's like a discount. Use Cheap Audio Man, you get a discount. They're really cool though. I am actually going to use them. I'm very excited about them. I've got 2 more I haven't opened up. I'm going to be doing more integrations with them though, so I'll open those up on different ones. I found your wallet. All right, enough about the wallets. Looking at the new Prime STA9, any other comparable components for non-integrated 2-channel power amplifiers? $500 to $1,000 price range. I'm looking at the new Prime STA9. Any other comparable components for non-integrated 2-channel power amplifiers? Let me look up the new Prime here. So quick answer is yes. You can actually get a pair of monoblocks from Emotiva, the just the A1s. That's what I use right here. They're great. Plenty of power. And I A-B'd this against their $1,200 STA Gen 3. And I thought I could hear a difference. I'm like, oh yeah, I know these. So I was doing a blind test with the switcher. So I'd hit the switcher a bunch of times, so I don't know where I was starting. And I'd switch back and forth. And the cool thing was they have the identical gain, right? So I wasn't having to worry about any gain differences. And I would pick it out, and then I'd get 2 in a row right, and then I'd get all like proud of myself, and then I'd try to pick it out again, and I would miss. So a pair of monoblocks at $900 rival that of one of their flagship amplifiers at $1,300. There is also the TA2. All right, people are asking for links. Let me put this. Let me put the wallet link. Oh, that's another one. I cannot believe that this is a 3 sponsored live stream. All right. I think it's just exter.com. Here, let's just do this. Exter.com/cheap audio man. Let's see if that works. Is that clickable? No. Let's see if I can do a clickable. https://exter.com/cheap audio man. Clickable? No, you're gonna have to click into it and then copy and paste. But it's in the description. There should be one in the description. I have a stock Wilsonton R8 with some Klipsch tower speakers. My question is between your Aries 2, J2, and Savage. If I can only use one, which one? Tough question. So let's say the Savage is off the table. So it's really between the Aries 2 and the J2. And so that's really going to come down to budget. I think there are advantages to both. The J2, the AKM version, I have been told by somebody that all right, getting some errors here. Hold on. Just go to extra.com. All right. Yeah, here we go. Just go to extra.com, EKSTER, and then use Cheap Audio Man at checkout, and then you'll get the discount code. So extra.com. All right. So the folks at Gishelli Labs are kind enough to, hold on, I'm getting a call. Jesus, creepers, jeepers, creepers. All right, the folks at Gishelli Labs are kind enough to send me this one-of-a-kind J2 AKM versions that they asked me what kind of wood I wanted, and I said, just, make it one of a kind. And they use pallet wood on some of them. Like, they use better wood, but I'm like, give me the cheap version. Make one out of pallets. And this is just incredible. I have been told that this AKM J2 rivals that of the Aries 2, and in some cases does better than the Aries 2. So, now I haven't AB'd them, but with my experience with the Saber, and with the experience of one of my patrons who I trust implicitly about his take on components, this is probably the best deal out there. The J2 AKM version right now is probably the highest value DAC that you can get, period. I'm not just saying this is the best DAC under 1,000. I'm saying this is the best DAC, period, for the money right now. All right. Hopefully that answered your question. I'm waiting for the Gishelli Labs burrito case. Yeah, so Gishelli Labs, for every new DAC that you order, they include a free burrito in with it. I'll have to confirm those details, but I'm pretty sure that you get a free burrito. If you order from them, make sure in the comments, I think you can put comments when you place an order, I just want to make sure I'm getting my free burrito. Rocking the Emotiva B1 Plus with Acousto Sound 6130 Rock. Very good. Randy Bahina. Randy won those B1 Pluses in a giveaway. All right. Can you go over the improvements in the new Emotiva PT2? Not yet. However, I think one's getting delivered today. I think it has an upgraded phono stage. I think it has an upgraded DAC, and it has upgraded bass management as well. Those are the things that I know off the top of my head, but I'm getting it in, and I will be doing a full-on in-depth review with it. We are having a blast today. I think this is the funnest live stream I've had for a while. Not to say they're not all fun, but this one's a lot of fun. What is the ideal cheap speaker for 3.0 home cinema in a smallish 300 square foot room? Something that covers low frequency. Ooh, okay. I was going to say the Sony SSCS5s, but they may not cover. They may not get as deep as you want them to go. Okay. So for 3.0, and I was going to say just buy 2 pair of the Sonys and use one as a center channel, but then you'd have one as a backup. Okay. Let's see. Smallish room, 300 square foot. Depending upon your budget, I think the ELAC Unified 2.0s, and they have a matching center, would be great because they have the concentric mid-range and tweeter, so they throw a really, really great soundstage. Very wide dispersion, very high dispersion as well. Sometimes you can get those on sale. And one of my patrons actually bought 2 of the center channels and runs those vertically, which is for 2-channel, not even for home theater. So that's one you could take a look at. I think the Polk Reserve R100, R200, they're fantastic speakers. I think they're on sale right now too. At least the R200s were. They also have a matching center channel. Emotiva B1 Plus and the I think it's C1 Plus as well. Some people knock the C1 Plus for some dispersion issues. I used it, never had an issue with it. I thought it sounded great. So those are a couple of options. The R200s are going to have the most bass out of it. The Unify U 2.0s have a great amount of bass, but the R200s have more bass. And then you can also look at the R100s, but the R200s, that speaker you kind of get away with not having a subwoofer with. So I hope that helps. In a small room, ELAC's front porch could prove useful. Great point. Very good point. Thank you, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's helping me out here. Are there any small AV processors now? I wish there were. I was always thinking like how cool would it be is if you could take the regular size of receivers, and now with like all this Class D amplification and stuff. And to be fair, a lot of the AV receivers don't sound great to begin with, but like now we have all these small, some very good Class D amplifier modules. How cool would it be to be able to have a smaller form factor? Because not everybody wants to allocate a big amount of space for their AV receiver. So yeah, I personally use the NR1711, which is small. It's not as like narrow as I want it to be, but it is definitely small. So yeah. All right. I don't want to stop this at 3. We're having a bunch fun. Aaron, would you recommend the IEMA T9 as a preamp on aux out after another DAC FiOK3 to warm up the sound of an integrated amplifier? No. What I would do is there are hold on. Wait one. I would probably recommend this guy over the T9 for your application. So this is the X Duo, I think MT602. $100, 2 tubes. I think they're 6NJs, so they're wide. You can find a bunch of tubes to tube roll this. And it's a headphone amp, so it's a Class A headphone amp. And then aux in and out, and then volume control up here. So I think this is going to be a better pure tube buffer for you, cheaper, and probably, I know some of the T9s, some, not all, some of the T9s have had reliability issues. So I've never heard of a reliability issue with this, and I think it probably would be better suited in your application. Built like a tank, a lot of functionality too, and it's a headphone amp. So I actually think I'm going to put this back into service. I think I'm going to start using this as a headphone amp. All right. The RX VIA isn't a processor, it's a receiver. Okay. I guess, okay, I bet that's conversations in here. Doesn't Denon have a small one? I don't know. We got a bunch of lifters in here, man. We got one guy doing most muscular shot. Look at that. I'm starting to work out again. It's been 20 years. 20 years, man. But I need to start working out. I need to get healthy. My body's getting to the point where I need some resistance training. Nothing like that, but I just need to keep the things moving. I actually did a little lifting yesterday. My lats are sore. Did you hear that? That's my collarbones popping. You ever have sore lats? Latissimus dorsi. Oh, okay. Anyway, I digress. What do you know about the new SVS Powerbase Prime Pro? Is it ever going to materialize, or is it vaporware? You seem energized and look great. The paleo diet is working for you. Actually, I'm not really doing that. I binge ate last night. You want to hear what I binge ate? Sometimes when I get really tired, I just go in the kitchen. So I ate a bunch of salsa and chips with some Velveeta in it. And then I have these little like single serving ice creams for the kids. I ate 3 of them. So that was definitely not paleo at all. All right. Sore legs are the worst. Yeah. I don't do squats anymore. But I still do. I lift the legs still. Yeah, they're the worst. Like you ever so this is back when I used to work out a lot. Like I would hammer my legs and then I would have a hard time like walking downstairs because my legs were just so jello-y. Randy, I have a Denon 4700. I'm thinking about getting a separate amp for my left and right speakers. Is there a sonic disadvantage to me using by using the Denon as a preamp versus getting a stereo preamp? If your Denon has preamp outs, no, none at all. By using the Denon as a preamp versus getting a stereo preamp, not at all. You may hear some clarity, but I'm wondering, like, is this just for 2-channel or is it no? You're going to be running it. No, I think you're going to hear. You can hear an improvement over just getting a straight power amp if your Denon has preamp outs. Even if it's a zone 2, though, that's not a preamp out. Like you need to make sure that the Denon has left and right preamp outs for it to work like that. So yeah. Oh, here we go. Simon Hackshaw says, just note that the AKM should be powered by an external linear power supply for the best results. Listen, Simon, I love you. People are still going to get great results. Granted, you can like step it up, I think, with a linear power supply. But I don't want people to think that they like need to get the linear power supply to like love the J2, because I think the J2 is great as it is. But there is a path forward to make it even better with the linear power supply. My patrons came up with a whole deal. Feliciano, 1999. I don't know if you like burritos, but here you go. Get yourself a burrito and a 2-liter Coke. That sounds delicious. All right, here we go. Denon has 11 preamp outs. Perfect. Yeah. You're not going to have any issue with that at all. I'm sorry, I wasn't familiar with that exact model number. Like my 2-channel knowledge is way better than my home theater knowledge. Home theater, I am dangerous, just good enough to be dangerous. But like 2-channel, I know more about. Oh, Simon, here we go. Yeah, Simon just said the best. Simon was in the Rhodesian army. That's pretty cool. All right. Last sponsored mention. However, this is an audio related sponsor. So there's a company called, here, I'm going to see if I can share my screen. There's a company called Periapt Cables, and Periapt has been mentioned on Periapt Cables. Periapt Cables has been mentioned on Zeos's channel. So if anybody is a fan of Zeos, then let's see, window, Chrome tab, here we go. You may have heard of these guys. So they're coming out with a new speaker cable. They're made in the USA out of Wichita, Kansas. It's a good company, actually a great company, and they hand make everything to order, and it's fairly inexpensive. Here, Chris Veltman, advertisements in the live chat. Yeah, they're called sponsors. Chris, you ever watched Linus Tech Tips? Like he has 3 or 4 sponsors, and he just reads the thing. So I'm taking a few minutes. This is good company anyway, Periapt Cables. So they are sending me some speaker cables to try out. And I don't really get into like the sonic differences in speaker cables, but if it's a well-priced, well-constructed speaker cable, I think it's worth it. Made in the USA, made to order. So check out Periapt Cables. I have them linked in the description as well. But they have everything from RCAs to like aftermarket headphone cables and stuff like that. Periapt Cables for all your cable needs. All right, now we're done. All right, that's it for the sponsored content. I'm sorry. We're trying to make them fun, though. Trying to make them fun. Simon Hackshaw Ridge. Yeah. All right, Brian said he's out of here. Very good. Denon 4800 will have Dirac. Very cool. Dirac's a game changer, man. For sure. Game changer. Have you reviewed the Chord Mojo 2? No, I haven't. And if so, is the DAC better than that of my NAD 338 hybrid amplifier? So I'm not familiar with it, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes, the Chord Mojo 2 is going to be better than the DAC in your integrated C388. I've had the C338. So your Chord Mojo is really well respected. Very, very, very well respected. Now, it's not really a traditional DAC per se. You can use it as a DAC, though, in a 2-channel system. But I would bet $100 that Chord Mojo 2 is going to wipe the floor with the integrated DAC and the C388. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's awesome. You can do YouTube for a living. Do what you love. Thanks, Ben. Ben, I might need to send you one of these wallets. Look at that. So cool. I've got 4 of them here, Ben. One of them's got your name on it. I give things away to my patrons all the time. Zeos, make sure the kids aren't in the room when you watch them. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Z is it's colorful language. He's a very wonderful guy, though. I've talked to him. Great guy. He's very talented. This guy's been doing it like forever. Anybody that can turn on the camera and talk for 30 minutes coherently about a single product is a pro. So he's I like Z a lot. I used to watch him all the time. New Megadeth and Blind Guardian albums dropping tomorrow for all you audio testing needs. Very, very nice. Ed Zach's got to bounce. Later, man. Appreciate you. Blue Sound Edge looks promising. I need to check that out. Anyone have experience with Sewell connectors? Probably going to get the banana plug ones. I haven't. Chris Sewell says, okay, fair enough. I'm addicted to 3 meals, sometimes 4, and a roof over my head. Yeah. Listen, this is kind of the way it is. A lot of channels outside of the audio world do buku sponsorships all the time. I think guys in the audio, like some people get testy about sponsored content, but like it's part of it, man. And it's not like I'm going to use this stuff. I mean, I use this knife all the time now. The only thing I haven't used is like the keep stuff. Now, like the VPN stuff, it's all right. But these wallets are pretty cool. Like I would use this stuff. And it's not like I'm trying to shill anything that's like I don't think it's decent. So yeah, I get it. Sponsorship, but listen, like fundamentally, this is free content. Like you have to sit through some commercials, but every entertainment medium known to man has always had some type of content. Remember, what was his name? He was an old school radio guy. I loved him, man. My dad used to listen to him all the time. He was like on the AM radio. And he had the best voice, and he would do like these awesome commercials. And it was like, you would listen to the commercials just because like he was doing them. Paul Harvey would do the best sponsored content. Todd Trowbridge, I've used Sewell banana plugs and they're pretty good. Even when you are already paid for it. Barry Keegan. I don't know what that means, Barry. If you want to have a conversation about it, let's have this conversation. I'd love to. I'll even go over. Even when I'm paid for what? Like I want to talk about this. Paul Harvey. There we go. Love Paul Harvey. And now the rest, that guy was such a pro. Yeah. Barry, I want to hear from you. Let's talk about it. Gadget Dad, this is my favorite audio channel, advice channel, as I feel like I've invited you to your home and you tell me to sit down. I'll grab a cup of coffee. Absolutely love it. Streaming services. Oh, okay. Sorry, Barry. I thought you were talking about my sponsored content. No. Listen, I get defensive about this stuff because people like people legitimately get on me about this stuff. And like, first of all, not every channel even gets to do sponsored content. Like they don't even get asked to do it. So I think it's like, it's pretty cool that I even get asked. Good day. Paul Harvey did the coolest thing. And we're going over a little bit. He did the coolest thing. It was a Super Bowl commercial. And I think it was like a Dodge truck commercial, but the whole thing was like Paul Harvey's like overlay about the thing was, and so God made a farmer. And if you get a chance, search it out. It's on YouTube. So God made a farmer. And it was because I grew up on a farm and I knew farmers, obviously. And I grew up in that type of culture. It was the coolest thing. And I actually did a eulogy for my wife's grandfather at his funeral. And I read that. Really, really powerful stuff. I almost teared up a little bit. Love your show, bro, from Eastern Canada. Very cool. Say shit, Randy. Say it. There you go. You got one out of me. You got one. Your ultimate Class D amp recommendation for power-hungry floor-standing speakers, topping LA90. I'm telling you guys, this topping LA90, I did not want to like that amp. Like I didn't. I was totally going into it thinking, like, if this thing has a fault, I'm gonna scream it from the rooftops. And it's not really the fault of topping, but some of this backstory was with how that amp got here. And I turned it on, and I'm like, I can't say a bad word about this thing. I mean, maybe it's a little bit expensive. The inputs are a little wonky. I don't like it, but my goodness, was that thing good. It is. I just actually put it on the table to send it back. It's not the most powerful thing in the world, but the power that you do get it's clean. It's really good. It is really, really, really good. And I didn't want to like that, and I ended up liking it. My dad would stop everything he was doing to listen to Paul. Yeah, I remember growing up in the pickup with my dad and my grandfather, and Paul Harvey was always on. Love your show from the Netherlands. Paul, I love you, my friend. Thank you for watching. All right, a couple more. I think the LA90 is too much money. I get it. It's very expensive. And like I said, I didn't want to like it. But it was hard to argue with its performance. So yeah. Hard to argue with its performance. It's not perfect though. It's got weird connections. It's a weird amplifier, but boy, it sounds good. Pioneer 305 dropped 15% on Amazon. That's good. That's my favorite receiver. It's upstairs. I love it. Building a listening room. Friend is insisting I should get a Marantz PM 8000 amp. I am wasting my money, $1,500. I don't know that one. I don't know it. I know Marantz though is good reputation for sure. Meze 109 on your list. I don't know. I did talk to Meze just reached out to me about something, so I think they are sending me something. Savage A20A isn't available, huh? Chris Studebaker, my boy. Did you listen to any Static X yet, man? Every time I listen to that, I think of you now. All right, we're late. We're gonna wrap this up. So appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry this was on Thursday instead of Wednesday, but I had to put up a video on Wednesday. So yeah. LA90. Hold on. If the LA90 put out 200 watts and 8 ohms, then I think it would be worth the money. Yeah. I think, William, they limit the amount of power so they can get these specs. The noise floor and the signal noise ratio. I'm not defending it because I'm not buying it either. I'm just saying it's one of the best amplifiers I've ever heard. So it's not gonna live in my house. I'm sending it right back. But it's good. It's very good, very good, very good. Static X is fun when I need to speed way too fast. Anyway, I gotta go, guys and gals. If anybody's watching, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna have some new content come out. If you want to check out my other channel, I'll link it in the description. It's all about watches. So anyway, don't binge watch anything on Netflix or Hulu. Binge listen for your soul happiness. And with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.